Thanks all for joining us for this session. My name is Thomas Lindgren. I'm here to introduce Patrik and Kalle from Tyréns. And they're going to talk about how they, to capture all the knowledge inside of Tyréns, created their own AI. And we had a round table session talking about all the challenges just before this. And a lot of things came out of that and how much important that is. It's going to be really interesting to listen to what the approach on this was. So please, Patrik and Kalle, give them a big hand.
Thank you. Thank you. So, the world is changing. And it's changing very, very fast. I would say it's in a way that it's very hard to understand, and all of you know that. But let me give you one example that really caught my attention a couple of weeks ago. The 12th of February, one of the biggest companies in the world just got 25,000 new employees. That's a lot. But you know what? No one was a human. That could be scary, couldn't it? So the company I'm talking about is McKinsey. And the good news is no one got fired. Saved you there, didn't I? So I think it's very interesting because they say all of them get amplified. So it says in the text here, so they're working together with AI and amplifying their colleagues. And I want to underscore that this is not a pilot, it's not a vision, it's not a future. This happened in February. That's quite hard to grasp, I think. My name is Patrik, and I'm a construction engineer. Been working with BIM since 1995. I created my first 3D models. Been out in the mud for a while, a couple of years, learning the construction industry. But now I'm working as an AI adoption lead at Tyréns, technical consultants, with 3,000 employees. Last year, I trained 1,500 people internally in our workshops, in 90 workshops, to raise the bar and upskill our colleagues to get started with AI. So at Tyréns, we are quite similar to McKinsey because we are still believing humans, of course. We really believe that AI together with humans will make the difference. So, of course, we're talking about amplified engineers, not replaced. And I'm here to tell you more about our journey. So, to be able to take control over the implementation of AI, we developed our own platform, SvenAI. And Sven was our founder. So, it's an AI platform that we have spread out to 3,000 engineers in 5 different countries. And I want to tell you about our journey because it wasn't only pretty. So we launched very early, and I can tell you we failed big time. And in one way, it was on purpose, because we and our team, we didn't really know what 3,000 people needed, right, within AI. So we really needed our experts. We talked about that in the round table before. So this is how the journey looked like. So I call it the SvenAI curve. So we started off in late 2024 and launching SvenAI. And it was really struggling because it was quite empty, not much information inside of it. Then our management made a very important decision to start off with the training. Because obviously not every colleague is working on and reading about prompting all night long and on the weekends learning more about AI. So we were working hard last spring regarding that. And we won a prize, the application of the year from Stora AI-dagen. It's a very, very nice prize that we are very proud of. It's an industry prize for our adoption and also working with the SvenAI. Then something drastically happened. The usage dropped immediately. So you can see we got the prize and then we're gone, right? So we really have to figure out what's next. Where are we moving? Where are we heading? Because we didn't know, of course. But meanwhile, we were training all the people, we were collecting insights. So every single person had to tell us, what do you want AI to help you with? Not our platform, but in general, to collecting all that data and that insights. That created a new situation for us because we could create a totally new roadmap for SvenAI and really pivot the system and where we're heading to become the solution that our colleagues want to use. So during 2026 now, we're going down into the meat into the organization, into the projects to really understand the workflow, the processes, the data. We can talk about hours for that, but I used to call it just use cases to make it very clear and easy for our colleagues and myself to understand what we want to do here. And today we have passed 2,000 users within our own platform. So it's quite rapid implementation, I would say, within 1.5 years. But what about the insights then? So I collected them all and grouped them into different categories and different areas. What do we really want? What do we really want to use AI for? And no one were asking for a large language model, of course, or another chatbot, but for real heavy-duty work, boring tasks, administrative tasks, etc. So we tried to figure out where we were already using AI in different areas, and some were really standing out, like the report that become red. Because we are writing a lot of reports still. Maybe we will stop doing that and delivering reports in some digital format, I don't know. But then we realized that our AI tool needs some new capabilities to meet that demands from our colleagues. So we developed new capabilities like understanding pictures, formulas, tables, and another problem that we see within generic AI models where they have a hard time to handling a lot of documents at the same time from the user's perspective. Our SvenAI today have over 10,000 documents inside it, but still, when you want to upload your project files, it's very often that they reaches more than 300 pages. So you have to rebuild the knowledge base within SvenAI and how the data is used. And also connections. So we launched our MCP connection before OpenAI last summer to open up SvenAI to be able to communicate with other systems like Revit or other ERP systems or whatever. It's very, very important for us to collecting data from different sources, and I will show you a little bit about it in a second. But also we need some kind of understanding to read Word templates and creating Word documents, of course, to be able to create a report. So our report AI looks like this. So we created a workflow how we can tailor-made SvenAI. So the user, they choose the project, their sources, their documents. They choose if they want a database and external tools. And also they choose the template they want to use. And then we have a clear instruction to what SvenAI will do. And then in a very, very short time, we get the document provided to our colleague as a draft. This is a mobility report. And I think it's quite cool because not it only understand the graphical design and so on, what text should be where, but it understands exactly where in each section. For example, that picture there, that was grabbed from the architect's PDF and put in place, and the table was figured out and found in other different documents. So really design this report AI to help our colleagues. So we see dramatic changes, of course, in our company, and one of them is Richard, who is working with the tender process, and he saw that he can save up to 50% of his working time working with tender, and that immediately savings, of course, for us. But now I have a question to you guys. Has anyone felt a little bit smarter when we're using AI? Raise your hand. I feel smarter every day I use AI, that's for sure. I get some help and support, and if you haven't, I'm really, you should look forward to it. It's amazing when you get this really feeling of there's something more is happening. I get smarter when I use AI. There is also some studies regarding that. But when I heard about Mo Gavdal, and he quoted, "What will happen when AI reaches 4,000 in IQ?" I think it's a relevant question, because that could happen. Mo Gabdad is a former chief business officer at Google X. He's a well-known speaker. So I've been thinking about this for a while, and what if it looks like this? I got my IQ, probably not that high, I know, but let's put a bar there. And then we add some IQ on top of that, like AI IQ. I become a little bit smarter. That's cool. That feels good. So I got amplified. But what will happen if I get amplified by 4,000? That's going to be powerful. At last, I'm going to feel smart. It's going to feel so powerful to have that kind of intelligence behind me, supporting me. And that's what we're meaning with amplifying engineers, and we'll talk about from today and forward also. I've been also thinking about, because one person earlier here presented, and we talked about it in the round table also, sometimes it's hard to find people and find engineers that are very, very high skilled. So I was thinking about how do we scale an engineer? It's maybe a strange question, but let's say we need 10,000 more engineers for some projects and so on. Many people would say it takes about 5 to 6 years to develop an engineer. But I would say first you have to be born and raised, right? And then you need some life experience. And if we look at how you can train data and how, for example, Google DeepMind did when they created AlphaGo that won this very advanced game, they trained AI in 18 months, something a lot of researchers thought could take 10 or 15 years to do. So what if we can train an engineer in a very short period of time? It would probably be quite easy and quick to scale them up. So connecting that with having a higher IQ together with working with engineers as colleagues to amplify what we are doing. And also sharing the experience between different projects. And also, of course, learning from the whole globe around. That would be powerful, wouldn't it? So SvenAI is not the only thing we are working on, of course. We have a lot of projects going on and developing new solutions. But to have a closer look, even closer to how we amplifying engineers, I would like to invite Kalle, my colleague, and talk a bit more about that. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Patrik. Let's give applause here in between for good speech. Yeah, I'm here to talk a bit more about A.Engineer, because this all what Patrik told happens inside. But Tyréns actually is a foundation or trust owned company, and all our profits are generated back to the well-being and development of innovations in the built environment sector. And that's kind of the heritage that Sven Tyréns left behind when he gave the company forward before he passed away. So we actually have an internal startup incubator that you can look for seed funding, develop technologies, and sell them to the world as any startup would be doing. And A.Engineer is one of those technologies. I would say the maybe most prominent one, and something that we are investing heavily. And the vision is that, let's imagine a lawyer. Now you think that what the heck he's talking. But Helena is a lawyer. 2 years ago, there is a due diligence process, spending the whole weekend, cross-checking documents, agreements, is this right, is this wrong? But Helena is not doing it anymore. It's a professional service industry, very regulated. A mistake can cost you a lot of money. Sound similar as ours? Yes? But it's text-based. So no wonder Legola and Harvey has taken like a rocket to actually make that work over the weekend in 3 days, happen in 3 hours. That's exactly what A.Engineer is doing for engineering, calculations, and reporting. Because we are not that language heavy. We have, of course, a lot of language as well, but the core is in the calculations. It's in the numbers, and it's understanding the physical and digital world and how they connect. And that's the vision, because we cannot work 24/7. I don't want to work 24/7, but A.Engineer can work 24/7 for all of you. And how we get there is that code is also language. But I'm actually very angry that most of the great partners here are promoting vibe coding to this industry. But that is fatal. Somebody will die in those projects that has vibe coded calculation applications. And we need to stop that. We need to be better, and we need to think how to actually do this to really make it work. So let's take a look what A.Engineer is all about and what we are trying to solve here for real. Now we get maybe a video.
Engineering will never be the same again. Proudly presenting A.Engineer, agentic AI system that automates engineering calculations and reporting. It all starts with a simple prompt. Just in some seconds, A.Engineer will create a plan how to build the calculation tools needed. Confirm the plan and see your tool building up in no time. If you want, you can also create new tools from your existing Excel tools, example calculation outputs, or reference project data. Test your tools with real-world input values to ensure you and A.Engineer can trust the tool ever after. A.Engineer gives you both the visual UI and code behind the tool, ensuring there will be no AI black boxes anymore. Once you are satisfied with the quality in your tests, verify your tool and publish it to your private calculation toolkit and allow A.Engineer to use high-quality calculations tools when moving forward. As we are just getting started. Once you now have an AI companion who can calculate and who you can trust, let's move into something even more electrifying. The reports. Describe your problem or the report you need to deliver for your customer, and A.Engineer will ramp up an agentic flow that will take you there. By combining your project data from legacy systems, your verified calculation tools you just created, and army of ready-made AI agents, A.Engineer will automatically write your report in just a couple of minutes. It will include text summaries, tables, drawings, and other visualizations, all aspects that a professional engineering report should contain. And as always, when using A.Engineer, it comes with maximum transparency regarding its actions and fully auditable agentic workflow it has just autonomously created for you. Once you are satisfied, verify your report quality, download it as PDF, and send it to your customer or add it to your project documentation. Now I have explained how A.Engineer works. Engineering as it should be. Empowered by AI. Verified by you. But some things just cannot be explained. Those need to be experienced.
So we started this journey 11 months ago from scratch. Of course, we have a long history of computational design in the group, but as many know, 10 years of trying getting computational design into the industry, and you have 5 guys who know Python code, so it doesn't kind of work the way as it should be. So now we really have a chance maybe to get there, but it's not going to work the way that you have wish of engineering automation and bunch of LLMs, which we are using on the bottom. But you really need to know how to build these systems. What you need on the quality layer, quality control layer, how you bring the calculation tool to the deterministic layer so that they don't hallucinate, how you take the human in the loop, the same way as in banking and your customer, you need to have a process which is built in A.Engineer to get an audit trail if something happens. What agent does, what human does, who takes the accountability of all this. That's all built, ready, just start to use. And our agents and then data connectors, MCPs, to the legacy system, but not only that, regulation, standards, and the product information, material information that is coming. And this is publicly available. Anybody can start selling. I can give you even a 1 month free for the Pro if you like. and enterprises, you can contact me and let's take a look how we can start this journey. Because the first step, the adoption, start from the fact that your assets in the future will be the automation collection that is agentic. It's not Excel, pen and paper and knowledge here. This is data as well, but it's not documented. And we need to get it to the agentic form to get anywhere in this industry. We launched publicly November 17th. These are the titles that are already using this tool. We got a quite big visibility and quite good number of users from early days externally. And based on the studies we're doing now with enterprise customers, if you are in a calculation-heavy discipline, it's 5 to 15 hours of automation and saving that you can do per week, which only in the top 150 companies in Europe means $11 billion. That's the money that we use for paying £100, $100, 1,000 crowns for somebody clicking the BIM or doing some kind of note somewhere. We have excellent talent here in our companies, but they are not doing the job that they should be doing. They are doing this type of a job. And that needs to stop. Today, we can cover most use cases from stage 2, 3, and 4 especially. But this process is made by humans for humans. And our hypothesis and vision, what we are going towards and what this platform will be in a couple of years, you remember the Helena the lawyer. You are the Helena the lawyer now. In 2 years, you are not working the same way. With minimum input, you need to bring your design methodology and process. That's your competitive advantage. Your automation collection that is agentic. And then we take care that you can connect the data needed. And then you take the power to your consultancy again, because you can ask the software providers, the customer what they need, software providers how they can connect, data providers what data you have. And that human capital becomes amplified capital, agentic capital, as Patrik was saying. Because every one of us, especially here in Sweden, there is one thing we love the most. It's called fika. So take a lot of fika, it means taking a cup of coffee. A.Engineer, we work for that. Go to meet your kids, do something fun in the weekend. Don't do the due diligence or some other project that is deadline on Monday. But be smart. And if you are kind, you can get one of those cups from me at some point. But yeah, my name is Kalle, Valkama, working as AI venturing lead at Tyréns, and it was a pleasure, and I'm humbled that I get to share our journey the past 11 months. And let's catch up at some point if you are interested, because the era of agentic engineering has started. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kalle and Patrik. And it was a pleasure to listen to you. This was really interesting. We have a couple of minutes for 1 or 2 questions. So if we can have some assistance. Any questions?
Thank you. You won't be able to hear.
Yeah. Hang on. They need to put on the headphones.
Now it comes from the monitor, I think.
Okay. Oh, okay. So this is very interesting. So which LLM are you using to write A.Engineer in? And have you thought about using any open SDKs like that open company to produce a visual output or a BIM output other than sticking it back inside of a traditional BIM system?
Yes and yes. Maybe a bit of simple answer, but we are using multiple models, the best model for the best task. When you press a button in A.Engineer, there's approximately 20 LLM calls that is ignited immediately, almost at every step, because that's how you build real agentic systems. So it's not like you're talking to an LLM. So one agent does that, one LLM call that, one LLM call that one. So that's how the thing works. And especially due to the geopolitical situation, we are not binded on any LLM provider as such. So the whole system is built that way that, of course, if something would force us to Mistral, those models are great, but not that great. So something would happen, but at least we are prepared for that we are not binded on that. And that open company, I think they are very interesting, and not to reveal too much, but wait for the August.
So with the tokenization of this, obviously people are paying a subscription fee. If I'm hammering the hell out of this, so is there a fair usage policy, or what's the kind of token cost to the customer?
Yeah, it's a happy problem if you get to that level, looking at this industry and what is the maturity. So I'm happy to talk to you, and let's get going. But yeah, we have kind of agreement text saying reasonable use. So then at the moment there is no tokenization cost. So we are only happy of heavy users. And at the moment you cannot get that far even. Yeah, no, never say never. Yeah, I don't know you, so might be. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. But
thank you.
Anyone else? Yeah, down there, Hans. Hans.
Hi, I have a question about, so LLMs, they're probabilistic, and you want a deterministic outcome every time you run a calculation, for example. You talked a bit about it also, it's very important, but how do you make sure that happens in your system? Which guardrails do you have to let people understand that this is deterministic?
yeah, no, it's a bit of the same as you would be asking one of the, how would I say, key unique selling points that is in the platform, how it's built. But I would say that you need, architectural-wise, many layers. And of course, if we generate text, for example, then we can guardrail it. But if it's generative AI generated, then it's how it is. But how we see it is that the calculation outputs is kind of the core of the thing, and those cannot be hallucinated, whether in text or in the actual output that we have ensured.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, everybody, and a big hand for Patrik and Kalle.
Thank you.
Great pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Great presentation.